So the Bible tells us that we must be sober-minded at all times because the devil is roaring around looking for whom to devour. As the devil searches for a victim, you are not going to be the victim. The Bible in the book of Jeremiah, God says, I have great plans for you and plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans for a good future and hope. So every time there's a voice in your mind that tells you that you are doomed, or maybe your destiny is doomed, you need to know that the devil has infiltrated your mind. The Bible does tell us about fear. And the devil is trying to make you look at things from a certain viewpoint that God has not introduced in your life. You need to look from the perspective of the scripture. What is God saying in this verse? And what am I seeing? Because sometimes you might be seeing things that are not what God is saying, and these are not the truth. Just because you see a storm approaching, it doesn't mean that storm is real. The Bible does tell us that the spirit world is more real than the physical world. And this is a reminder that the things you see with your eyes can be a deception more than the things that you see in the spirit. That is why the Bible tells us that God is pleased with faith. So if you hold on to faith in God and say, God, I believe the plans that you have for me. You say that the plans that you have for me is to prosper me, not to harm me. So every time I see harm coming my way, I remember that the devil is trying to be the one who harms me. Paul said that we must think of those things which are pure, those things which are beautiful. These are the things that we should meditate on so that the enemy does not take advantage over our minds. The devil is roaring around looking for the victim to take advantage of. He wants to infiltrate your mind. He wants to whisper in your ears. He wants to tell you things that God did not tell you. So remember and keep the scripture in your word that God has great plans for you, and the plans that God has for you are not to harm you, but to prosper you and to give you a good future, not the future of darkness and destruction.